nights or go to Las Vegas for a few nights, and we'll set up all their transportation for them. Make sure they're all taken care of, okay? And then if they need a conference room or if they need a convention center, we can go ahead and book that for them as well, all right? And destination weddings has been huge. It's been a big part of our business, actually. We have a lot of couples giving us a call wanting to get married at a destination, okay? If you're not familiar with what a destination wedding is, that's essentially what it will be, okay? We gather their friends, their family, their relatives, and we take them out to, maybe they want to get married in Hawaii, or they'll want to get married in Lake Como in Italy, or, have a beachfront wedding in Mexico. So we'll set up the entire wedding for them, take care of the transportation, and from the wedding venues to the wedding packages, all that good stuff will be taken care of. Okay. And with our third bucket of clients is going to be our most exclusive clientele that we work with, guys. This is the celebrities that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. Okay, we work with celebrities, and what do they want? They want private jets. They want, we could charter planes for them. We could close down restaurants, hotels for them if they're doing some sort of an event. And we could take care of, if they want Super Bowl tickets, we can even do that. We could book yachts for them. Essentially anything that they would need, we can go ahead and take care of. Okay, we do work with a lot of celebrities as well. So this is the gist of essentially, I want you to understand from what spectrum to what spectrum of clientele that we work with and everything in between. Okay. Now, for the past 6 years at our company, we haven't been hiring. Really, we've been hiring very, here and there whenever we needed to fill in a position, but hasn't really been much hiring happening for the past 6 years. That's because our business has been, growing very steadily. And our staff was able to take on the amount of work that we always had. For the past 2 years, though, we've seen rapid growth within our company, and we've actually gotten to a level where we are no longer able to service all our clients and take care of all the tasks that we have going on. So we are currently understaffed heavily, actually. So that is why this is probably the first time you're seeing our company, at least, post a job or have a position open or something like that. And usually when we do hire guys, we use Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn when we're taking care of hiring needs. But I was actually having a tough time this time, for this month, at least last month, in the month of January, I wasn't, able to find too many great candidates for this particular role. Especially because we're not hiring one or two roles within the same position. We're hiring for quite a bit. We need quite a bit of positions filled up within our company. So my hiring manager told me, they're like, you should try posting a job on Craigslist. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could even post a job on Craigslist. But he said, usually you find great people or great candidates that way. So that's what we decided to do. We decided to give that a try. And to be very frank with you, I am very impressed thus far. I've been on a few calls already. I've had a few meetings throughout last week, and we've found a lot of great candidates, and we've filled up a good amount of our positions. So we're still going because we have more room to hire, but so far we're very pleased with the results. So that's good. I'm not pleased, however, with all the stuff there is on Craigslist. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I looked at the job category once, and I looked at it for 5 minutes, and it was just craziness. I mean, so many fake jobs and just things that doesn't even make sense. I mean, what people are posting, it's all spammy looking type of positions. I don't know, probably not even real. But you guys would probably know that better. You guys have been around that a little bit more. So I'm sure you guys know how to filter at this point. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the position, okay? Because I know I posted 2 jobs, actually. I posted one job for a customer service position. I posted one job for a data entry position, if I'm not mistaken. So I did that on purpose, okay? I did that on purpose because we have found it to be very successful so far, and we found great candidates this way. The position that we're actually hiring for is going to be the highest level position at our firm. Okay. And both, the majority of the responsibility is going to be data entry and customer service. It's going to be both of them combined into one. So we're looking to hire consultants at our firm. Okay, we need more consultants, and this is the highest level position we offer here. And as a consultant, I'll tell you in brief terms before I get to the responsibilities. Is essentially consultants are the individuals at our business that they're working with our clients from start to finish. They're fulfilling their orders. They're servicing them. They're ensuring that all their answers are all their questions are answered. Everything really comes down to our consultants. Okay, so I take this position very heavily. That is also why I am on this call. I am doing this meeting and not my hiring team or management. Okay. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the responsibilities, guys, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Please, everybody, give me a thumbs up so far if we're on the same page. Okay. And cameras on. I will say it one more time. I want everyone's cameras to be on. Thank you. All right. And guys, we've been, this is our headquarters. We've been here for the past 17 years. We're located in Los Angeles, California. Okay. Now, this position is going to be a remote work from home position, meaning if you have, maybe an office in your home, or if you have somewhere where you can focus, it's not a noisy background. That is all we require in terms of workplace. Okay. In terms of equipment, we want either a laptop or a computer. Okay. One or the other is absolutely mandatory. If you're in the midst of getting a laptop or a computer, that's fine. I could work around it, but absolutely mandatory. Okay. Now, I will go through the responsibilities, but before I do, I want to make one thing very clear. First and foremost, this just because we're in the travel industry does not mean this position requires you to have travel background or experience or anything like that having to do with travel. Okay. It's actually the quite opposite. You don't have to have any sort of travel or hospitality experience. Okay. So I want to make that very clear. Secondly, I'm going to pick on you guys while I go through the responsibilities. This is so I can provide you an example with each and every responsibility so that you can better understand what we require out of this role. Okay. So let's see, Michael, let's go ahead and start with you here. Michael, let's say, we have a client give us a call and the client wants to, take a vacation to Europe. Okay, they want to go to Italy. They want to also go to France, and they want to travel with their 2 little kids. Okay, before we can start or even start working with this client or start servicing them, we have to understand a few things. Okay, first, we have to understand that not everyone is the same. We all like different things. We all prefer different things. We all like to travel differently. Okay, Michael, you travel differently than I do. Adrian, we all travel differently from one another. So it's also important to understand how our client likes to do things. Okay, so what do? That brings us to our first responsibility, which is provide exceptional customer service to clients by understanding their travel needs and preferences. Okay, what does this mean? This means we got to ask good questions to understand what our client wants. Okay, and there's 4 questions that we ask every single client that calls our office. Right, 4 questions, and these 4 questions have been the same for 30 years. So make sure you write these questions down and make sure you know what these questions are. Okay, question number 1. It's going to be, are you looking to travel? Let me start. Are you traveling for any particular occasion? Are you traveling for any particular occasion? Right? This is important, Marisol, because we want to understand, hey, is this like a honeymoon? Is this a family trip? Is it a bachelor trip? Is it a wedding? What's the occasion we're traveling for? Because every occasion kind of has a different experience along with it, okay? So that's question number 1. Question number 2. Are you looking to fly economy or first class? Are you looking to fly economy or first class? Yvette, why is this important? Because, we've got clients where they don't care where they sit on the plane. They want the cheapest ticket. They just want to get to their destination. Okay. And then we also have clients where if you don't give them first class for their flight, they will not travel. Okay. They only travel first class. All right. And the same thing going into our third question is going to be, are you looking to get 3-star hotels or 5-star hotels? Okay, 3-star hotels or 5-star hotels. Brad, why is this important? Because like I said, there's clients that we have, they're on a budget. They don't really care which hotel they stay at. They just want something that will kind of fit within their budget, okay? And we've also got clients that they request a 5-star upscale luxury hotel. They want to make sure they get a suite overlooking with a balcony, ocean view, and they want to make sure there's champagne waiting for them in the room too. Okay, so 2 very different types of clients. And our last question here, everybody, is going to be, what's your budget? Okay, what's your budget? Caitlin, why is this important? Because every one of our clients, especially when they're looking to take a trip or go on a vacation, they have a budget in mind. They have an amount where they're just looking to stay within that range. And it's very important for us to understand what that is. Okay, so we're all on the same page here. Now, with that being said, these questions, once again, have been asked to our clients every single time they call. This is not a surprise to them. This is nothing new. They're used to this routine. Every time we always ask these questions. And all our clients have been with us for like 20 plus years now. So they're all returning. They're all very great, loyal clients that we've been working with for a very long time. Okay. So now, once we've gotten that information, okay, Chrissy, what we do now is we plan and arrange all aspects of their trip. So we start putting the pieces of the puzzle together, okay? What does that mean? That means that, this part, by the way, this responsibility right over here is all data entry, okay? This is all going to be data entry, and not regular data entry, but pretty intense data entry, okay? Because has anyone ever booked a flight before? Have you guys ever booked a flight ticket? Yeah? Okay. Can you, when you're booking a flight ticket, can you, just put whatever you want as your first name? Can you put your nickname? Can you put what people call you? Can you put a wrong date of birth? Can you misspell your last name? Is that something you can do on a flight ticket? Absolutely not, right? You misspell one letter of your name on a flight ticket, you know what's going to happen? It's not like an email where you can go back and just fix it up. You're not going to be able to get on that plane. That's what's going to happen, right? So it is extremely important that whenever you're booking this flight for the client, you put the information correctly. Okay, because you're going to have their passport information. When you have their passport information, you want to make sure everything matches that passport and there's nothing wrong. Okay, so this is very important. Same thing with the hotel. When you're booking a hotel, you want to make sure that information is correct, right? If you're booking them for 2025, don't put 2026. Okay, if you're booking them for June, don't put July, right? So all of these little things where it comes to dates, names, information, all these things are extremely important in this industry, okay? So that's why I say all these things really have to do with data entry. We can also ask our clients if they want to have a car rental on their trip, right? Some people like renting cars when they're on vacation. Okay, if you go to Hawaii or if you go to Los Angeles or you travel to Miami, maybe you're thinking about renting a car. Okay, now the question in play is, what kind of car does this individual want to rent, right? Do they want to rent a Kia? Do they want to rent a Jeep? Or do they want to rent a Ferrari, right? It's every client's different. We got to ask them that question. We have to understand what it is, okay? Have you and tours? Europe is extremely popular for tours, right? Like if you're going to Paris, you want to see the Eiffel Tower, or if you're traveling to, Rome, you want to see the Colosseum, right? This is very important to make sure we offer this to the client because they might be interested in it. Now, again, one thing I want to make sure you're familiar with, you don't have to know all the flights, guys. You don't have to know all the hotels. You don't need to know any of this information here, okay? Because our system already generates which flight you're going to book, which hotel you're going to book, what tour. We do that on the back end. You don't have to worry about that, okay? All you have to worry about is making sure you plug in the proper information when you're servicing these components, okay? And our very last, kind of product here that we also like to always offer our clients is insurance. People like to stay protected when they travel, okay? They want to make sure they don't lose, in case something goes wrong, they're sick, they can't go on the trip, whatever, they don't lose their money. Very, very important, okay? So we have to make sure we also ask them about travel insurance. All right? Now, let's see. Chloe, have you ever been on a flight before? Perfect. All right, Chloe, you've been on a flight. So how do you know when you've been on this flight, right? How do you know what date you're flying? How do you know which airline it was? What the times of your flight was? Or where you were going, which hotel you were staying at? Where do you see all that information? Somewhere in your email, right? Some sort of confirmation that came into your email after you booked your tickets. Okay, so you guys need to know what an itinerary is. This is a very important term in this industry, okay? An itinerary, Donald, is essentially what a client needs to see so they know exactly when they're flying, where they're going, which hotel they're staying at, what they're doing their entire vacation. Okay, so this is also data entry right here because you're going to have a template, and in that template, you're going to basically be filling in the blanks, making sure all these clients know, what's kind of in their itinerary, right? So that's going to be another duty of yours is emailing your clients the itineraries. Okay. Now, Dicey, this right here is the most, or Daisy. Is it Daisy? Okay, Daisy. Sorry, Daisy. Is this? This is one of the most important responsibilities of all these responsibilities. Okay. Ensure seamless and timely communication with clients. Okay, what does this mean? This means that let's just say, Daisy, you're great. We would love to have you part of the company. So we go ahead and we hire you for this position, right? And let's say you start work at 9 a.m. Okay, you start work at 9 a.m. Have you guys ever used a CRM before? Heard of a CRM? You guys know what that is? Okay, for those of you that don't know what a CRM is, it's essentially a dashboard that all of our consultants have. And that's where you keep track of all the tasks you're doing every day. That's where you keep track of all the clients we're going to be assigning you. Everything gets kept track onto the CRM, right? So it's like a little dashboard. And that's how I know what work to give you, and I see what work you're completing, okay? So Daisy, 9 a.m., your work starts, right? And I assign a client to you in your CRM. Okay, what does this mean? This means that, hey, you need to contact this client, okay? Now, I assign you that client at 9 a.m. The question here is, are you going to contact that client 3 hours later? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. And you guys should write this down because this is an extremely important metric. I'm going to get back to this a little bit later. Every client that is assigned to you, or every task that is assigned to you, right, you must start working on that task within 20 minutes. Okay, you must start working on that task within 20 minutes. And this is extremely important. Why 20 minutes and why not 3 hours? Who cares, right? Because we're not 1990s customer service, okay? We're not your Wi-Fi provider. We're not AT&T. We're not Verizon. We're not your credit card company that can put you on hold for 2 hours and give you the whole runaround, okay? That's not the industry that we're in. And we're not just giving customer service to give customer service. Our entire business is reliant on the concierge service that we provide, or else our clients don't even need to use our services. They can go anywhere else. Okay. So they choose to use us because of that service. So we better make sure, especially when somebody is wanting to spend $20,000 on a vacation, we better make sure we get back to that person within 20 minutes. Okay. Now, it's not just a matter of getting back to them, Jennifer. It's how we speak to them too, right? It's our tone, it's our energy. You know, you don't want to speak boring or monotone or whatever, not professional. So there is the wrong way to speak to a client, and then there's the right way to speak to a client. Let me give you an example of what the wrong way to speak to a client is. I don't want to see this happening with anybody. Okay. Hey, John, it's Jennifer. How can I help you? This is boring, this is monotone, no excitement, not professional, and there is no room to build a relationship with that client, okay? Versus, Jennifer, this would be the best way that you would want to speak to our clients. Hey, John, it's Jennifer with BWJ. I know you just called in looking to book a trip to Europe. That's really exciting. How can I help you? Okay. A lot more professional, a lot more, ecstatic. Energy is good, and it means a lot, right? Because you guys called businesses and you guys talk to people that whenever they talk very if their energy is down and they're being negative over the phone, it starts affecting your energy. Okay. And right now, even on this interview, right, if I were to just talk like this the entire hour and I was to be like this, you would probably all fall asleep or you would not even care. You would probably forget you're on this interview. Okay. Wherever it is, you need to have that tonality. All right. Now, relationship is extremely, extremely important with our clients. Very important. Why? Because they don't want to work with someone else every time they call us. Okay. They don't like working with new people. They like working with the same individual, the same consultant they've always worked with. Okay. So, Abby, if they, work with you today, right? They don't want to work with Douglas tomorrow and then Rhiannon, next week, and then DeWitt, next year when they're looking to take their vacation. They just want to work with one person who understands their style, who knows what they like already, so they don't have to keep, being juggled around. Okay. Same thing with you guys, right? Ladies, you go to the nail salon, you go to the hair salon, you go to the same place every single time. You don't switch up, nail salons every other week, right? And we as men, we don't switch up barbers every other week either. We go to the same person to get our haircut, and we're happy and we're good. We're comfortable with it. So that's how we like. That's exactly how our clients like when it comes to consultants too. Okay, so second to last responsibility is going to be payment processes. Some of you have done this, Sabrina, in previous positions. This is essentially billing, invoicing, processing payments. Very straightforward, very simple. What does this mean? If the trip costs $20,000, we bill the client for 20 grand. We get back that invoice, and what do? We use that money to pay off the flight, to pay off the hotel, the travel insurance, the car rental, whatever it is that we booked for that client. Okay. And guys, all of these things, if there's certain one of them that you didn't or you don't have, that much experience within, that's fine, because we will also make sure you're well trained on it. Even before you start the position, you're going to have to be well trained on all of this. Okay. So don't worry about if there's something you might not be fully sure on how it works. And our last responsibility, Travis, is going to be stay current on our company meetings, right? Mackenzie, we have 2 meetings every single week at our company. Absolutely mandatory for you guys to attend those meetings. It's with our entire company. And we go through news updates, kind of what's going on. And we want to make sure that everybody is on those 2 calls. Okay. Perfect. All right. That is pretty much it when it comes to the responsibilities. Great points, guys. I do see your messages here in the chat. Great points. Thanks for following along. Now, What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mention a few things right now. I want to clear up the air, and then I will dive into company culture for a little bit, okay? So first things first, I haven't gotten these questions from you guys, so I'm very happy to hear that, but I have had these questions asked to me before, so I want to make this very clear. First and foremost, this is not a sales position, okay? Not only is it not a sales position, I actually don't want you to try selling our clients anything. Okay. If you sell our clients or try to sell our clients, you will lose my clients that we've had for 30 years. Okay. These clients have been loyal to us and they've been calling us for their trips simply to get servicing and help and assistance and be taken care of. Not for somebody to sit around and try to get them to spend $5,000 more than they should have, okay? Or upsell them, or try to throw in random products, or convince them to do this or that or whatever. It's not how it works here, okay? We're not a dealership. We're not life insurance. You don't bring that energy in here, okay? That's number one. Number two, this is not cold calling. This is not a call center. You're not going to be speaking to random people. You're not going to be working with random people. This is not a build your own business, do whatever you want, work whenever you want, don't work, make 10,000 a week, work 1 hour a week. I've seen so many things on Craigslist. Doesn't even make sense. None of that. Okay, it's just not reality. It's fairy tale. It's La La Land. Doesn't make sense. Okay, when something doesn't make sense, just stay away from it. So this is none of that. This isn't multi-level marketing. This isn't recruiting. This is not any of those things. Okay, I want to make that very clear, just in case you might have thought one or the other. So with that being said, let's dive into company culture. Okay, this is a really important topic. It's something we take a lot of pride when it comes to culture at our company. And it should also hopefully be something important for you guys whenever you're looking for a position or somewhere to work. Because I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. I'm a very transparent person. And if there's anything that I say that can help you out or give you a piece of advice while you're in the job market too, then so be it, even better. But I do know a lot of industries, and I'm very familiar with how all the industries work. I have also a lot of employees that have shared quite a few stories to me. Okay, so let's talk on that a little bit, and then we'll discuss pay after that. Whenever you're looking for a job, right? One thing I always like to tell people is make sure the pay could be great, the job could be great, everything could be great, right? But make sure, for the company that you end up working for, your values align with their values, okay? Because if this doesn't happen, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to go to work every day with a mask over your face, pretending to be someone you're not. And, the more you do that at work, the more you're going to start to feel suffocated when you're in work, right? And the more suffocated you feel, what's going to happen? You're going to hate your job. Okay. The goal here is we don't want to hate our jobs, because at the end of the very day, we're spending 8, 9, 10 hours with commute, with all this stuff at our work every day. Okay. You want to try to put yourself in a position where you can actually enjoy your job. Now, I know it's not the perfect world out there. We all have families, responsibilities, bills to take care of, and it's not always our choice 100% where we work, where we don't work. And sometimes we just have to, put up with it, right? I get it. But I will say one thing now, especially more than ever, keep your options open. Always keep your options open. Don't keep your eyes closed to one job, one company, one position, unless that company has proved to you that they are going to be very loyal with you and their culture is great. Okay. Because there's been too many times where people get, sorry for my language, screwed over working for a company for a very long time. And there is no loyalty anymore, right? Than there was 30, 40 years ago. There was a lot more loyalty from management to employees. And now it's not the same anymore. Okay. People are getting laid off left and right. Doesn't matter if you've been with them for 20 years or not. Okay, and it's the reality. So I've heard a lot of that from, particularly my current employees. They've told me a lot of those situations that have happened to them. And with that being said, I'm going to say one thing. I 100%, 1,000,000% despise corporate culture. Okay. I hate the entire setup of corporations. I don't like how they operate. I think they treat all their employees very disrespectfully, inhumane, and it's just there's no loyalty there. Okay. And this really bugs me because, people are putting in all this effort, all this work, doing their best at their jobs, and it still doesn't matter at a point. Okay, and so that's why I don't like corporate. I don't like it because of one reason. There are a lot of greedy individuals that are running these companies. Okay, and these greedy individuals, all they care about is money, right? Money is their biggest value in life. So if money is your biggest value in life, then you are willing to do everything and anything and be unethical for the sole purpose of money. Okay. And that if it requires you to lay off 5,000 employees because you have to, because you missed your target by 1% that year, then you have to do it and you will do it. That is why, I don't like how corporations are operated. As more and more time comes on, I realize that positions are becoming more and more robotic. Okay, I don't know if, let me try to explain what I mean by that. There's a lot more jobs right now that they kind of just make you feel like a robot, right? You're like a robot. You're doing the same thing 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. You're taping boxes at Amazon for 10 hours a day. Okay, it's a robot's work. It's not a human's work. Okay, there's so many. You're working at a call center for AT&T or Verizon, answering calls of people that their Wi-Fi just shut down, and all day long you're answering the same call and you're giving them the same responses every single time. This is robotic, right? We are not used to robotic work. That's why the more that these companies try to squeeze you and really get every little bit of you, right? You want to break out from that as much as possible because it's not what we're for. That's why I don't, over time, I just feel like they've been getting crazier and crazier, and that comes with greed. Every part of that just comes with greed. So that being said, you'll realize that a lot of what our company stands for, a lot of what we do here is actually the complete opposite of how corporations operate. 100% complete opposite. And it's been working out very well for us, and we're very happy, and our clients are very happy, and our employees are very happy. So what more can we ask for, right? Now, 5 years ago, and the sad story here is I had an employee that I hired 4 months ago. She got a job 25 years ago at a very big company. She met the owner, she met the management, she got the job. The owner gave her a guarantee. The owner said, "Hey, if you stay loyal with me until you retire, I guarantee you a job until retirement. I'll give you benefits as well. I'll give you a retirement party, and I'll give you, kind of room for growth within the company too." So it's a really nice thing to say. Like, she just got the job 25 years ago, and the owner said all these wonderful things to her, right? Okay, so she worked at that job for 25 years, and she was 1 month away from retirement. Literally 1 month away from retirement. So what was she doing? She was starting to plan out this party and making sure, like, it's really like however she wants it, and she was just thinking all about it, and she was really excited because she got to the finish line. As long as that's what she thought. Okay, the company missed their target by 2% that year. Whatever target they had, they missed it by 2%. And the first thing they did, they laid off 4,000 individuals at that company. Okay. And the sad thing here is it didn't matter if you were working there for 2 months or 25 years, because 2,000 of those 4,000 individuals all had 1 year left for retirement. So what does that mean? They didn't get their benefits. They didn't get their retirement party. It's not even about a retirement party. That retirement party is for recognition of your work, of what you've put in for the past 25 years. It's not about just a party, right? It's meaning. It's meaningful. People care about those things. It's being valued, right? So they lost their benefits. They lost their job 1 year before getting retired. She was one of them. She had 1 month left. And she told me this when she, once we were about to bring her onto the position, she told me this, and it made me very upset. It's very, very upsetting to have to go through a situation like that. You're almost 65 years old, and now you have to, figure out a new job just because you didn't get your benefits. So now she has to work, try to figure out how to get those benefits again or get some sort of normal pay, right? And I didn't know, obviously, if she was going to be a great employee or an efficient employee in this position or not. I didn't know too much yet. Obviously, what I like to do is I don't think an interview is enough. I like to actually see people at work. So what I do is I might hire prematurely and see them really just work. That to me is the most important metric of any metric. I'd rather spend more money, see my potential employees work, than sit around and just talk on interviews one-on-one and with half the people using ChatGPT to come up with answers. Okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. So what we did is, before I even gave her the position, first thing I did is I threw her a retirement party. Okay, because she deserved it. She had it, right? No one at that age should even go through that. It's not normal. I threw her a retirement party just as a kind of welcoming her into the company and all this stuff. And she's been with us for 4 months. And I have to tell you, I have over 500 employees. I have to tell you one thing. She is one of our most pristine consultants that I've seen in a long time. I'm not saying all of our consultants are great, but she is really, for her age and everything, that she is wonderful, organized, services everyone so well, beautiful work, right? I love to see it. And so she's very happy where she's at now. And, it was, this is the kind of things that we like to share here, because I want you to also understand that if you're the ones making the decision of where you want to work, I don't just want to talk to you about the job and the pay and the this and the that, because that could all sound great. But if you don't like the company itself, it's better you don't take the job. Okay. Now, 5 years ago, you guys all remember what happened. COVID, pandemic, horrible situation, right? When COVID kicked in, universally, COVID was just a bad thing. But when COVID came in, it hit our industry the hardest of any industry. Okay, if you guys remember, travel was disrupted completely. Planes weren't operating, cruises were stopped. Everything was grounded, right? From February of 2020 to July of 2020, we had 100,000 travelers that were supposed to take off and take their vacation. And all of those people, one by one, got canceled. Okay, because they couldn't take the trip. So COVID took us 8 years back in our business. And we're lucky to have survived that, because 90% of the travel companies went out of business. And we were amongst a few that were still survived. And I know why, though. It's very simple. It's because our entire 30 years we put towards loyalty, and we put towards making sure we have a culture that in case something goes wrong, we stand strong, right? So our clients, being the most loyal clients we've ever had, they wouldn't allow us to go bankrupt. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't allow us to lose our business. Same thing with everything else at our company, right? So with this being said, what do I mean is, my clients called me and they wanted to get a refund. They wanted to get their money back because they spent all this money and they couldn't take their trip. Fair enough, right? The money's not with me, though. The money is with all the companies, because we already paid them out. So I call all the airlines, I call all the hotel chains, all the cruise liners, one by one, to try to get them to give our clients their money back. Okay? Not one of them not one of them decided to give a refund to our clients. Okay. Now we have to come up with something because our clients, I already know they're sitting there, some of them in the hospital, going through severe conditions. Some of them can't, and they can't pay their hospital bills. Some of them just lost their business and they can't afford their rent, their mortgage. Everyone's in a tough financial state, and what was some stimulus check of $1,200 going to help? Like let's be real, right? None of that stuff really mattered. We were all in a tough financial bubble, especially those of you that lost your job during COVID. So we had to figure something out. Okay. And we made the boldest and biggest decision we've made in the past 30 years of the history of our company. This was the biggest decision we've ever made. And we made it because it was the right thing to do. What we did is we went through our personal pockets and gave every single client that we had that got affected, 100,000 plus people, their refund and their money back to the penny. Didn't matter if it was a $2,000 vacation, $5,000 vacation, or a $300,000 destination wedding, okay, that we had to pay back. Millions and millions and millions of dollars personally. 10, 15 years of income, built up everything. Gone just so our clients don't have to deal with that situation. And we made this decision not because we wanted to, but because it was the right thing to do. Okay. Not everything that's the right thing to do you want to do, right? But we did it because that's what we stand for as a culture, as a company. We had to, and we would do it again. Okay. These clients have been with us for 30 years, giving us business every single year. For 1 year, they needed our help and us to be by their side. Believe it, we were going to do it. Okay. And so our employees, who here got, maybe lost their job or got laid off during COVID? Any one of you guys? Yeah. Okay. For 6 months, believe it or not, we had no work to do at this company. 6 months. We did not lay off one individual the entirety of the pandemic at our company. And not only did we not lay them off, we kept them on payroll. Okay. I say this all because there's things a little bit more important than this amount of money or that amount of money or whatever. Okay. And that is loyalty to both clients and to our team, and vice versa. Goes both ways. And this was a very big decision of ours. Okay. Since COVID, our business has 4x'd in growth. We have 4 times more revenue than we did COVID year, which means the decisions that we are constantly making are the right decisions because they are also heavily impacting the growth of our company. And so we'd like to keep it that way. There's a reason for 6 years I didn't have to hire any consultants because we didn't have any consultants leave their job. Okay. At that same time, my employees don't want to work anywhere else. You can bribe them $20,000. You can give them a higher salary, whatever you want to call it. They will not leave this company because sometimes they just, having peace of mind that in the worst case scenario, they're not going to get laid off, right? They don't have to worry about it. So this is kind of just a little, story or example, whatever you want to call it, of what our culture is like here. Okay. And I want to explain that to you because I owe you that to give you the full transparency of what's going on here and what's part of our company and what's not. So with all that being said, guys, there's 2 reasons I will ever lay off an individual. Okay. And I'll tell you one of them now. Just so you know, I don't think it's going to be something you have to worry about, but just so you know what those are. One of the reasons that I lay off an individual is if you bring toxicity into this culture. Okay. If you disrespect an employee, you disrespect colleagues, you think you're a hot shot, so you come in here, you don't want to be a team player, you don't want to help out your colleagues if they need maybe they're overwhelmed with too much work to do. They want maybe you to help them with a task. And a few times over and over again, I see that you're not taking on that help. Okay. That's not going to fly here. Okay. That's not the culture we've built. I see that happen the same way I told you guys that we are anti-corporate. That also means one thing. I don't give 2-week notices out. If I see something like that happen, that same day, that same time, I will call you and we will lay you off from the company. Okay? Because we just don't deal with it. I'm not going to allow one person to come and ruin this culture for everybody. And when everyone's having a great time at work, smiling, happy, loving what they do, and our clients love every part of it. So won't allow one person to ruin it for everyone. Okay? Very straightforward. Don't think it's something you should worry about, but just in case you wanted to know. Now, with that being said, let's talk about pay. Okay? Let's go. Let's see. Who should I? Richard, I'll pick on you. So, Richard, let's say you were in charge of the Europe client, servicing the Europe client that we talked earlier during the responsibilities. Okay, the $20,000 Europe client. Now, let's say I want to give you a brief idea of how the travel industry works and how pay works in this industry. I will also be very transparent with you on how we make money as a company. Okay, I have nothing to hide, and I'd love for you guys to know. Why not? So, how it works here is this is why I love this industry so much, because it's the one and only industry that when you take care and give business to a company, right? So let's say we give business to American Airlines, or we give business to Delta, or we give business to Hilton, Ritz-Carlton, Carnival Cruise Lines, whatever, Disney, Universal, anything. Okay, when we give business to them, they pay us, they take care of us. Very simple. Okay, so why do I love this industry so much? Is because one, you're not taking any money from the client, right? You don't have to charge fees on the client. You don't have to add money on a client. You don't have to do any of those things as you would in a dealership, as you would for insurance. All these industries, they like to make money off their clients like that. Okay, we don't do that here. All we do is help facilitate the order. We're helping service these people and get them to the right destination, and we take care of their orders. That's it. So when we give business to Disney, because one of our clients want to go to Disney World, so we take care of their Disney tickets, Disney pays our company because, very, very nice structure. So what does this look like? Richard, let's say you go ahead and service our Europe client. So what did you do? You serviced them with Delta Airlines tickets. You got them a stay at the Hilton Hotel. You got them a car rental with Enterprise. You got them some travel insurance and some tours. Okay, so you service this client with 5 different products. Remember, everything in this industry is a product, right? So you service them with 5 different products. What does that mean? That means, Delta pays us. Hilton will pay us, Enterprise will pay us, so on and so forth. So just because, Richard, you were the one servicing this client, you will get, for this specific client, you will receive anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500 in income. Okay, just for servicing our Europe client. Okay, now, let me give you guys another example so you can better understand it. Who here is a fan of like Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruises? We got quite a few. Okay, perfect. So we got Dana. Dana, I'll go ahead and use you for an example here, okay? Let's say we have a mother of 3, gives us a call, and she goes like, I want to go to Disney World with my kids, and we want to get some theme park tickets. She also wants to stay at the Disney Resort for a few days. Okay, fair enough. Let's say they spend $4,000 on this Disney trip, okay? Just because, Dana, you were the one servicing them, helping them out, doing your job, right? you are going to earn anywhere from $800 to $900 in income servicing a Disney client. Okay. Now, the reason I brought up Disney as an example is because we have a little over 100 clients every single day that call us strictly to go to Disney. Okay. It's popular. What can I say? But with that being said, there is a very important key element to your pay, and it's going to be this right here. So pay close attention to this. All right. Let's see. Who can I? Stave. I'm going to go ahead and use you as an example for this one. Okay. And everyone pay close attention to this. Let's say, you've been a consultant with us for 4 months. Okay. So what does that mean? You have 4 months experience with us. It's no big deal. Everybody gets 4 months experience. The only reason I say 4 months is because 4 months later, I can do a performance review. Okay. Do you guys know what a performance review is? It's essentially, I'm going to look at, Stays, how well she's been doing, how efficient she's been. Has she been doing her tasks or not doing her tasks, et cetera, all those things, right? Now, what I want to say is, there's a few things that I care about, and then there's things I don't really care about. So I'll tell you the 2 things that I don't care about when I look at your performance review, okay? I don't care about how much income you've earned. I don't care about how many bookings you've done or how many clients you've serviced. Do you know why I don't care about those 2 things? Because that is the easiest part of this job. Why would I put it on a performance review? Doesn't matter to me, okay? I can get somebody off the street right here and teach them ABC of how to fulfill an order and do some data entry and plug in some numbers, and they can sit there and just book clients all day long, right? Easy, no problem. Does that mean they're a good consultant? No. Does that mean they provided a good service? No. They actually provided no service at all, right? So when I do your performance review, I look at 3 things. And if you guys want to write this down, write it down, because there are 3 things I will always look at. Number 1, have you contacted every client within 20 minutes? Have you started every task within 20 minutes, right? Number 2, have you serviced our clients well? And number 3, are our clients satisfied? Okay, these are the 3 things I look at. And as long as I see that you've done a pretty great job, I'm not saying you have to be 100% on all 3 of those, but you've been very proficient with all 3 of those. So you know what's going to happen, Stay? Congratulations. 4 months later, you have officially received your first raise in this position. Okay. Everyone will have the opportunity to get their first raise 4 months into the position. Okay. And when I say raise, guys, I don't mean raise like you're going to get a 5% raise at the end of the year. Just goes up with inflation and is completely meaningless. When I give raises to actually grow the income. Okay. Our raise typically takes your income bracket from over here to right around here. And I will explain that difference in a little bit here. Okay. Now, what do I mean by a raise? If you guys remember in the very beginning of this meeting, I explained to you the 3 buckets of clients that we work with, right? You guys remember that? The first bucket being the leisure travelers, the regular individuals that just go on a vacation. What was that second bucket of clients that we work with? Can you guys remind me? That second bucket of clients. Good. Businesses, corporations, destination weddings, right? Absolutely. Great. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to train you for 2 days. Okay. 4 months later, I'll do 2 days of training with you to make sure you are fully prepared and ready to take on bigger clients and bigger bookings. what's going to happen is now I'm going to give you a 200-person destination wedding client to work on. Okay. So now you're no longer working with 2, 3, 4 people. You're working with a group of 200. And this is a massive difference. Okay. Because how that looks like, you're going to service 200 people out to Hawaii, and you're going to get their flights. You're going to get their hotels situated. You're going to get their wedding packages, wedding venues, everything for their wedding taken care of, right? So this is going to take you like 4 or 5 days of time to work on. It's not a small order, okay? But once you've done the work and 4 or 5 days later you've fulfilled and you've serviced this client, you are not going to earn $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Okay, you are going to now earn anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 for servicing that destination wedding client. Okay, so it is a very big difference when you do get your raise. Okay, now within that week, by the way. Okay, I'm not saying on the month, I'm saying within that week. Now, everyone will have the opportunity for the raise. Okay, and 90% do get it. 90% get it. The 10% that don't, they're on the verge of getting laid off anyways. Okay, because they're just not doing their work as they're supposed to. And I see that happen. We're not going to keep you around in the position. Okay. Now, with this all, I want to also make one thing clear here. I know very well that we compensate very good for the position itself. Okay. I know that the compensation structure that we have for our employees are pretty high. Okay. Pretty high. If we're going to compare it to what's out there, I would say very high. Okay. But I don't care. I'd rather have it be like that. Okay. To everyone's benefit, let it be. That's completely fine with me. I don't need to sit around and earn millions a day myself and pay my employees $14 an hour. I don't care for it. Okay, we're very well off. We're focused on the future of the company and with growth and everything. And I don't care if we need to pay our consultants how we're paying them. Even better, let them earn more money. I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, that's never been a problem for me. Now, it's I want to make one thing clear because can I ask how we move on to third bracket? So, Conrad, good question, is asking how do we move on to the third bracket of clients, like dealing with celebrities. It's a very tight. We have a very tight, just few individuals that work on our celebrity clients. Now, the reason we do it like that is because they're very, very picky. Celebrities are extremely picky. I mean, you have to, there is no saying no to them, right? It's like if they want something, even as picky as they want it, you have to get it figured out. There's no other way. And that's why it takes specific individuals and consultants that have gone through a lot of different levels to then be at that level. But that doesn't mean nobody can get there. Of course you can, but I'm just saying there isn't too many individuals we have for that role. And they've been here for years, so they really, really have everything honed in. But again, it's more of a preference thing. I have to tell you, I wouldn't say working with celebrities is going to increase your income so much higher. It's more of just the fact that you're working with them. And so I've assigned them to that position more so. Okay. Or else groups itself is already very large. Okay. Now, there's this company out there that makes 5 times more money than we do. As in they do 5 times more business, right? So, and for your information, they make $5 million a day, give or take, anything around that range. $5 million a day is the revenue that's coming into their business. And they have over 2,000 consultants. And I say this because there's a big difference in companies that are a lot greedier at the top and companies that aren't. This specific company I'm referring to, they're very greedy at the top. You know why? because their consultants are practically doing the same thing our consultants are. It's not like your guys' responsibilities are so much more different, but they're making $5 million a day. They're making 5 times more money than we are. And you know how much they're paying their consultants? $16 an hour, no benefits, no commissions, no performance bonuses. No room for growth. Just do what you're told, take care of it, and get paid your $16 an hour. See, I would be okay if that was a more entry level positions that maybe you can even have like a VA, or whatever, do, and you just pay $16 an hour because it's just a very basic standard procedure, right? But your consultants bring in all this income to your company. They're the ones at the end of the day fulfilling orders one by one, making sure everything is correct, making sure the clients are served, right? And you pay them $16 an hour, that's bad. That's sad, actually, more so. Because I know how the travel industry works and how much income and money is coming in and flowing around here. That is why over 50 employees from that business have come over here. And the only reason it hasn't been more is because we can't take on more people. We don't need to take on more people. That's the only reason. They're coming here earning 4 times the amount that they were over there. It's a big difference. And why? Because of our pay structure. If you want $16 an hour, we are not on the same page. We are not in the same realm. Okay? You can let me know in the chat if that's what you want. No problem. There's AT&T, there's Verizon, there's this company I just mentioned. They're always hiring for those positions. 24/7 a day, they're always hiring, always. And there's a reason they're always hiring. You have to think about it, because those positions, people don't last long in them. They work for a couple months, they don't want to do it anymore. Okay, because either they're getting underpaid, overworked, whatever the situation is. So, mistakes. I'll talk about mistakes. That was actually a great question. If you make a mistake, guys, that's a great question. I'll discuss mistakes. No, I don't penalize. I don't penalize our consultant for making a mistake. Okay, we're human. It's life. We make mistakes. If you're making mistakes, very often that's a problem. That means you're just not being careful enough. Okay, I will get to that right now in a minute. Okay, now, with that being said. Let's talk about schedule and then training. Okay. I know, training is going to take 2 to 3 days, guys. So 2 to 3 days is how long our training goes for. It's about 7 hours worth of videos that you have to watch. Now, I have created all the videos myself. And it's very straightforward. It tells you about the tools, the resources, the CRM, how you get, how you have to utilize it all, what the day-to-day operations are. All that stuff is in the training videos. Now, granted, once you complete training and once you're, we see that you're prepared, we can actually give you a job start date as soon as, I would say, as soon as this Wednesday can be your job start date. Because I have individuals that have completed their training within a day. Within 24 hours, they completed their training. Okay? So it just depends on when you get it completed. I need it completed by 1 week, the maximum 1 week. Okay? It can't be anything more than that, because we are at a season in travel. At the end of the day, we still have a season we need to abide by, and that season starts mid-January to end of October. Okay, this is our peak season every year. We need to make sure we fill up these positions and we're trained, ready to start working. Okay, now, with that being said, in terms of scheduling, we discuss your schedule during training. Okay, we discuss your schedule during training. We'll have one-on-one conversations and get that figured out. Okay, this company is 7 days a week. We are around the clock as well. So I have a little bit more flexibility to offer when it comes to schedules. anyways. There's a reason where our position is in different time zones as well. Okay, because we are looking for people in the Pacific side, Mountain, Central, and East Coast. Okay, because we have also clients all around the country. We also have international clients. So that's why we have a lot of individuals also that we've hired from Canada and whatnot, Mexico as well. So now I say this because I hold you to high expectations and high standards in this position. Okay. At the very same time, I give you a flexible schedule and I cut you some slack. Okay. What do I mean by that? Just raise of hands out of my curiosity. I want to understand a count here. Who is looking for or in the market for a part-time position? Okay, you can put your hands down. Thank you. And who here is in the market for a full-time position? Looking for a full-time job. Okay, so that is majority of us here. Nice. Okay. Okay, thank you. You guys put your hands down. So that's actually really interesting. The last call I had, it was the complete opposite. About 80% wanted a part-time position, 20% wanted full-time. So that's great. Actually, it kind of balances itself out. Now, I say this because for those of you looking for a part-time position, I will grant you a part-time consultant position. Okay. For those of you that are looking for full-time, I can give you a full-time consultant position. If you want to start part-time and then potentially shift over from part-time to full-time, I can also allow you to get that opportunity in the future. Okay. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to scheduling, guys, I'm going to have those conversations with you, and I would like you to explain to me what your current schedule is like and what's important to you, what's not, because there's a few things I will definitely work around. If you need to take kids to school in the morning and that comes out of, maybe an hour a day or whatnot, or if you maybe have to go to a doctor's appointment for an hour a day, or if you have to go to fitness, health reasons, whatever, if anything that's really important, and I would like to try to work around your schedule, and I'll try to meet you in the middle as much as possible. Okay. It depends on what also we have and what we need as well. But yeah, we're humans. We treat each other with respect, guys. I understand life, and for us, it's not super important for it to be a 9 to 5 on the dot. I really don't care as long as all my time slots that I have with the clients coming in are taken care of. Okay. And maybe that gets taken care of from another, employee. And that means you can have these specific slots. So we can get that all figured out. Okay. Now, in terms of pay, I did not tell you guys what difference the raise would make in terms of your actual pay. Okay. Our average consultant, this is not counting for the raise. This is pre-raise. Our average consultant pre-raise earns $190,000 a year. Okay. With the raise, 4 months later, when you get the raise, your income gets impacted by about 45%. So it takes you from $190,000 a year to around $280,000 to $290,000 a year. Okay, this is the differences that the raise makes, which is why I tell you extremely important to ensure you stay on track with everything. Okay, you want to get that. All right. Now, that doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, I have people, consultants working 60 hours a week, okay? They're working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, which is about 60 hours a week, right? I have consultants working even more, and that's just because they're the head of the family. They need to take care of the entire family, and they have a lot of expenses, so they want to make sure they're taken care of financially. So they're earning, I have consultants earning 600,000-700,000 a year. It really depends on, but that's not first year in. That's a few years in the position that they've already really built up experience, and they know how to swiftly work through clients and managing all that good stuff. But 300,000 to 500,000 a year, much more. I see that a lot more. Okay. Now, you can work a weekend if you'd like to throw in a Saturday or Sunday in there. We definitely need that. So we can work around it. Okay. Now, no, you don't, Matthew. If you got church on, I get it. There's a lot of religious reasons why people might not be able to work a weekend. Totally fine with me. Okay. Just telling you guys that we have 7-day-a-week options, because I know there's other individuals that they're really free on the weekend. They'd rather work a day there. Now, with all that, I would like to also dive into, talk to you kind of a little bit about my history and where I come from, so you can get to know me a little bit better. With this all, I want you guys to also know that 12 years ago, when I was a very young adult, I was kind of in and out of different positions, just trying to figure out what I want to do. I really didn't know what I wanted to do, because I told you guys my father built a company 30 years ago. So I had a marketing job, and I also did some social media work. I was kind of in and out of the place, and nothing really stable. And my dad came up to me, okay, and he told me, he goes like, why don't you, come work for the business, come become a consultant. And I was like, okay, I got no idea. I don't know anything about travel. How am I going to be a consultant? I don't think I'm going to do good. And he goes like, no, you don't have to worry about it. He goes like, as long as you service people good, you take care of their needs. And, I know you have that kind of skill set. You should be perfect at this position. So I took the job. And I said, I'll give it a try. Now, back then, it was a little different, okay? If you wanted to work in the travel industry, you had to actually get some sort of license. You had to go through some schooling. You had to pay thousands of dollars in fees, which I did all of that, okay? You don't have to do that today. It was different back then. But that's what I had to do to kind of just work in the business. So I started working as a consultant. This was my first real job, okay? Similar to, exactly what I am hiring for today. And so from 2013 to 2019, 6 years, I worked as a consultant, okay? And I'm not trying to be biased at all, but it was genuinely my one and only job, but it was actually a very enjoyable job that I had. Everything was perfect for me. I also had that flexible schedule, so I kind of, chose to come into work at a certain hour, and I was getting better and better at my job, and I was really understanding the depths of it, and I was also understanding what makes a client really like you a lot, right? So, and it's so simple, right? I realized that making them feel special is all you have to do to make them really like you and always want to work with you. So I tried to make every client feel special. Okay, so I would do something special for them. Something so simple, so small, but it was meaningful. That's all that matters. And 6 years I worked as a consultant. Year 6, 2019. Okay, this was my last year as a consultant, because I hit, as I call it, I hit my record, I hit my goal, something that I kind of always dreamed of during those times, but I really hit it, and I got recognized for it as well. I was recognized as the #1 travel consultant in the entire world for the number of clients I serviced in one single year myself as an individual. And thank you, I appreciate it. And I'm not saying this to brag, guys. I'm just saying this so you guys know kind of where I come from too. 10,000 clients or a little over is it's a large load of clients you're working with a daily basis. That was a little less than 30 people a day I would work with. Not only just work with, fulfill their orders, service them, make sure their questions are answered, all of that. Took care of them all. and I hit that, and I got recognized on a lot of different magazines and through various travel companies. You guys will see it when you're in the company. And that was a very great goal. You know, it was something I didn't think of, but it happened because I loved the job and I was getting really good at it. And I had a lot of free time on my hands too. I was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, because I loved what I did. Okay. And I felt responsible for all these people. So I say this because I know exactly what it is to be in your position and to be a consultant. Like, I know exactly what that is. It's nothing any different. Okay, and I've done the training videos for you guys. I've created it for you guys. That's why I take this position to heart. That's why I also am the one on this call hiring for this position. Okay, the consultants at this company, I take very, very differently, only because I like to be very involved with them. Okay, so if there's ever things that I can shed some advice your way, or I can maybe sit down with you and help you out with a few things, I'm more than happy to always do those things. Okay, so what really made the difference, and I'll share this with you now before we kind of get to the end here, is how I made clients feel special. And you guys are going to be taught this literally in training, and it's just by doing those small things. So Daisy, if you know it's the client's birthday, right, and they're traveling for their birthday, all you got to do is call the hotel and tell them to leave a bottle of champagne in their room with a note card. Okay, and what you would say is, "Happy 30th birthday, John, from Daisy." Or Douglas, if it's clients you're working on and they're maybe honeymooners, they're going on their honeymoon. Okay, very romantic. Call the hotel up, tell the hotel to decorate the room. Rose petals, candles, heart-shaped, whatever. Just let them decorate it, right? Let them get creative. That's fine. Doesn't need to be something too much. And leave a note. Enjoy your honeymoon, right? And from Douglas. So this might cost like 30, 40, 50 bucks to do. Okay, it's nothing expensive, right? And us as the company will happily cover those costs for you. Just make sure you do that to almost every client if there's some sort of an occasion or whatever. And I'm telling you, those things make the world's difference. They will love you for everything that you're doing. And they will recommend everyone to come and just want to work with you. Okay, so that's what I would do. I would do that with almost every client. So I'm also in the training, I tell you guys, as one of your duties to do that. Okay, that's the thing. The training that I have for you is not going to start you off at a base level consultant. Okay, that maybe another company would have basic kind of training. The training I have for you already will start you off at a very high level consultant, because that's the kind of information you're consuming. So you're already going into the job with high level kind of workflow. Okay. And that's going to, and I do that because you immediately are going to see high level results with that as well. Okay. Oh, if there's no occasion, you don't need to do it. You don't need it. There's nothing mandatory. Okay, I'm just saying, if most of the time there is a little something they're traveling for. So, with that being said, also, if you're interested in how much income was coming in when I was servicing that level of clients, I was earning about 6 figures every single month. Okay. So it would range. 1 month you would have 150,000, 1 month 200,000. It just all depends, because you're in an industry where the more people I'm servicing, the more income's going to come. So that's what it is. But with that all said, guys, I say this all because what are we doing right now? What would you call this? An interview, right? Or a meeting, however you want to look at it. That is also one thing I don't do that corporates do. I don't waste my time doing a second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth interview. Okay, I remember I mentioned that in a little bit ago. I told you I don't waste my time with that. What I do is, and thank God we're in a position at our company where we need to hire a lot of individuals. Okay. I love process of hiring people. I love, being providing that opportunity to people that are looking for a job. I really enjoy it. And I wish we were at a level where I could hire 1,000 people, but I can't. That's okay, one day. So with that being said, because we're hiring quite a few individuals, I don't do one-on-one interviews or anything of that kind. I will give you the opportunity. I will give you the job. Just like everybody else, I'll give you the training. You finish the training, I'll set a job start date for you after we discuss scheduling and all that. And that's all I need to know, right? I just need to see how you do in the position. And you're not a salesperson. You're not any of that. As long as you're just doing the tasks that are required, servicing them, making sure your data entry is done properly and not slacking off on that, and making sure you don't make mistakes, and because you're not careful or whatnot, double checking, triple checking, all these types of things. That's all I'm looking for. Okay. I see that. I'm willing to pay more money, see the results, than sit around and do interviews all day long, 12 hours a day. Okay. So for someone that just asked me, is there paid training? I don't want to put you on the spot. Okay, I'm not going to mention your name, and I don't want you to take this personal. I'm happy you asked me that question, actually, because this will give me yet another reason to make sure we're all on the same page here. Okay, this is a question you were trained to ask when you get a corporate job. Okay, this is a question you're trained to ask when you go and get a job at AT&T or Verizon. Because you know what that tells me? When you say, is there paid training? You know what I think? You're counting 7 hours of training, and you want to be compensated for the 7 hours of training, rather than thinking that I do 7 hours of training and I have the job. You're thinking, how much am I going to get paid for 7 hours of training? I'm not blaming you for asking that question. I'm just saying how those kinds of questions, I don't like being asked here. Okay, because it tells me that we're not on the same page. Okay, not that I care about the 7 hours of pay. And even if I were to pay you for the 7 hours of training, tell me, how much do you want to get paid? $16 an hour, $18 an hour? What do you want for those 7 hours? Right? So it's more of a mindset thing. And again, don't take it personal. Okay. I'm just trying to say that that's not how we do things around here. Okay. Because if I were to do these one-on-one interviews, and I would have to shed off 90% of the people on this call through a process of elimination or whatever to employ for this position, you wouldn't even have an opportunity to do a training. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, absolutely not. No paid training, no this, no that. I don't deal with it. I don't, we're all, that's two completely different processes, and we're not, corporate. If that's what you want, by all means, it would make my job a lot easier knowing that right now I wouldn't spend additional money and time and resources and have my entire staff get you set up for employment. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So guys, I remember one thing I didn't mention to you, what I had to do 12 years ago to become, in this industry. You guys don't have to do that now, right? It's very different. It's not how it works anymore. So that's good news. There is one thing though, I will not hire without. Absolutely, absolutely mandatory. I mean, it's mandatory procedure for our company. It's mandatory protocol for the industry. It has to happen. It's not a big deal, but it's absolutely mandatory. Okay. I'll tell you what that is. So first things first, we want to make sure that at the bare minimum, doesn't matter if you're an employee, if you're a staff member with us, if you're an entry-level position, if you're a consultant, an agent, does not matter. If you are part of our company, this needs to happen or else we can't move forward with your employment, okay? And I'll tell you why, because we don't take risks and we'd rather stay safe than sorry. And this is for your own benefit, and I'll tell you. At the bare minimum, I require everybody that is joining this company needs to have a certification, okay? And let me tell you what I mean by that. Jennifer, a certification is tied in with insurance, okay? Tied in with insurance. Do you guys remember somebody asked me a question about making mistakes before, okay? I'm gonna go back to your same question right now because let's just say, Jennifer, we employ you, starting Wednesday, you're gonna go ahead and get your position, right? I give you a client and you happen to make a mistake, okay? You book the clients the wrong flights, okay? You were supposed to book them these flights, but you booked them the wrong flights. And who lost money here? The client lost the money, right? Because they can't get that money back. And let's just say that was a $10,000 mistake right there. We're not in the industry of $20, $30 mistakes. If a mistake happens, it ends up being very costly. Okay, so you just made a $10,000 mistake, which again, I said is fine, right? We don't penalize for your mistake. We will, move on, learn from it, try not to do it again. Because I've made a mistake before. All my consultants have made mistakes before. But do you want to be held liable for that $10,000 mistake? Probably not. Okay, and nobody here would want to be held liable. Okay, I wouldn't want to be held liable for it either. And so I'm not going to put anyone in the position to be held liable for a mistake, okay? That is why there's an insurance called Errors and Omissions Insurance. It covers all mistakes, okay? I've made a $75,000 mistake once on a destination wedding. If I didn't have it, I would be in deep trouble. I had it, I didn't have to worry about it. Okay, so it's absolutely mandatory and to the point where I will not hire you if you don't have it. Okay, I don't want to put anyone through that, and I will never want to put individuals through something like that, especially because when you get your raise, you're going to be dealing with a lot more bigger packages, right? So when you're doing a 200-person destination wedding, that is a $500,000 to $1 million booking altogether when you add it up. So a mistake could be very costly, okay? So we need to get that. The good thing is it's a 2-minute online form. You fill it out, you put in your information, and you will get a certification number at the very end. I need to know what that certification number is, okay? So when you give me that certification number, I will find your name in the system. Once your name is in the system, I will lock you in for training protocol and get your account set up with us right away, okay? Just make sure you chat me what that certification number is. And it's pretty cheap, guys, nothing expensive. It's about, I think, $59 a month. It's around $59 a month for that cert, okay? Needs to be taken care of, guys, or unfortunately, I cannot bring you onto the company, okay? And I hope you understand why. So that's pretty much it, guys. So what we're gonna do now is everyone please take a look at your Zoom chat. I sent you the certification link. Please take a look at that. Take 2 minutes and fill out that form. Please let me know once that form is filled out. I want to make sure I have your name in the system, so I have to call out your name, okay? So wait until I call out your name. I need to know what that number is, okay? Send me that number, and I will get your account situated, and we will get you put into training right away. All right? I do look forward to working with you guys. Seems like a very great team here so far. Just let me know once that's complete. Yes, Sharon, absolutely. Absolutely mandatory. And guys, one more thing I want to mention. I don't like to give false hopes or false promises. Like, I don't want to tell you that next week this position is going to be available. If you guys do need like that week or something like that, I'm not going to give you that false promise. Okay. I do think this position will be filled up by tomorrow. Okay. By midday tomorrow, I think we're going to have it filled up. So please let me know once that cert number is, absolutely, Sharon, because you don't know when that mistake is coming in. That mistake could be 4 months later. It could be tomorrow. Okay. It needs to happen. Okay. So let me know. Bonifacio, you'll see it. When you fill out the form, you'll see that certification number. Just send it to me in the chat. Okay. Send it to me in the chat once you've gotten that number.